What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. It's finally here, guys. It's finally here. We have the Ace versus Sakazuki character information, and we have some banner information as well. All the information about the rare recruits are out. There's some free-to-play units that we have some information on. There is a lot to go through here today. This unit, I'm just going to say this right now, I think this unit is in the discussion of being the best unit in the game. I'm not even kidding. I think this unit definitely could be better than Roger. I think this character is definitely better than Kaido versus Big Mom in some aspects. Like for Kaido, like for the Kaido unit, for example, like Kaido himself is a really good like speed captain. So for some aspects, yeah, you know, Kaido's going to be better. But I just think if we're just talking just on paper, I think Ace versus Akainu might be one of the best units in the game. Like I'm talking at least top 3, minimum top 3. This unit is so strong. So we're going to get into the information in just a bit. So shout out to Evan for posting this information about just the banners. There's obviously you got part 1 with Kaido versus Big Mom featured. You got Vivi Rebecca boosted, and you got Shiroshi Mancherry boosted for their parts there. But let's go ahead over to the subreddit Discord where they actually have the current translations. If I could actually go ahead and locate that real quick. There it is. Shout out to Anton for posting the information here, and Godot for translation stuff. But yeah, this is what the unit looks like right here. You can see he has Enrage, he has Barrier Penetration, and he has Slot Bind. Now I don't know exactly how many turns of each at the moment, but of course Barrier Penetration on all Sugo Fest exclusives are you know, it's guaranteed to go through no matter what, so that's huge. And of course with Barrier Penetration, with the recent update, Barrier Penetration is probably one of the best limit break abilities you can have. Enrage is probably going to be pretty decent, and Slot Bind, I assume it's going to be like maybe 7 to 10 turns. I don't expect it to fully remove it. If it fully removes their Slot Bind, then that just makes this character even better what they already are. Stats across the board though, these are just the base stats that they've added here because you can't have like both units in one. If you guys don't remember how a versus unit works, when you put the character onto your team, it says, you know, do you want to use Ace or do you want to use Akainu? Because both, it's basically 2 legends in one, and you choose which one you want to have active for your team. So that's the way that it works. So yeah, there's a whole different set of abilities for Ace and Akainu, and we're going to break them all down right now. So Ace is a strength character. He's a strength shooter free spirit, and Akainu is a quick driven powerhouse. So it's interesting that they went with the quick and strength color scheming. So obviously, you know, Akainu being a quick unit would have the advantage over Ace, obviously. So let's go ahead and break this down. So this is Ace effect first. Remember, this is all Ace's effect. This is not Akainu, so this is all Ace. Captain effect will boost shooter and free spirit characters' attack by 5 times, and then boost their health by 1.3, makes their strength, dex, and quick slots have matching slot effects, and recover 10 turns of special reverse. Just captain effect alone, this is pretty crazy. A base flat 5 times boost with a 30% health boost, with matching slots, and an added utility of giving you 10 turns of special reverse. I love the utility in captain effects, and now they've added it to a base 5 times captain with everything else attached. Now, there are definitely drawbacks here. He's a shooter free spirit captain. Now, I've said this in many videos, many streams and stuff. Shooter is probably the worst class in the game, or it's like the bottom of the barrel, right? If it's not the worst, it's the second worst. It's one of the worst in the game. So the fact that he boosts that class, while it definitely helps the class, I don't know how much it's going to improve the class in general. There needs to be better utility units for the shooter class, but this definitely helps out for sure. I really hope they give more support to it. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But he also boosts free spirit, which is arguably one of the best classes in the game. We have access to Odin, we have access to Roger, Luffy Sanji, for example. There's like so many really good units, and now we have access to that with another really powerful free spirit captain. Flat 5x, 30% boost, matching slots, and special reverse reduction. Very good captain effect. Not really any complaints from me. Just at a base level, I love this because, you know, previously with Kaido versus Big Mom, each of those units, both Kaido and Big Mom, were color captains. Both of them boosted 3 different colors. Now we've got a versus unit that is a class boosting captain. So I actually do prefer the class boosting captains. You know, we've dealt with color captains for a long time with super type introduction and stuff. So I do like that they are venturing back into classes, and I think you can build much more diverse teams with many different colored units with classes, and I much prefer that, honestly. But let's have a look at his special. 13 turn cooldown, which is very reasonable. It does 200 times his attack in non-type damage to all enemies, so that is a lot of damage, man, a lot. and then it changes all the crew slots into matching, just flat out. It doesn't get rid of block orbs, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then he also will boost shooter and free spirit characters slot effects by 2.5 for 2 turns. Now, just talking about that really quick, boosting free spirit character slot effects by 2.5 for 2 turns, like literally the Super Suga Fest exclusive Odin just does that already, but you know, Odin obviously boosts slasher and strength character slot effects. So this guy also does what Odin does, but he also boosts shooter character slot effects instead as well. So that's pretty good. Obviously 2.5 orb boost is nothing to scoff at, and he has orb manipulation. So I love that too though. Orb manipulation plus orb boost is so good. And then he says that if your captain's orb is a strength slot when the special is launched, set the base chain to 2.5, caps at 35 times. This is the exact same wording as V3 Wano lore. So you start at a 2.5 base chain and it basically scales up from there. This is a huge special. The fact that you get AoE damage, slot change, slot boost, and you also get the base chain as well. Of course, you need to make sure your captain's orb is strength when you launch the special. So I'm not really too sure. If you launch the special and he has like a block orb, for example, and you don't get rid of that, I assume that's not going to get rid of it. Or like hypothetically, if you have a type slot and it's not a strength slot and you use the special, does the orb change count as making it strength so then it will give you this? Or is it saying that before you launch the special, it has to be a strength slot? We'll have to wait and see how that works out. If this slot change in his special counts towards that, that's really good. But you'll see in just a moment that it actually really doesn't matter, because you'll see with his versus ability. Now remember, this is a versus ability that only these specific units will have. Now, in order to launch this ability, you have to consume 12 slots that are strength X or quick before you launch it. Kaido versus Big Mom was very similar, where you had to consume 10 slots that were recovery, tandem, or similar. So it's a little bit different, but it's similar in the same fashion where you have to consume certain slots. Now, for his ability, it's going to burn all enemies for 2 turns. So this is very similar to the super type Kaido that we had last month, where when you launch his special, it inflicts the enemy with increased damage taken. Now, this is kind of interesting because this also applies a debuff on the enemy side of the field. It burns them. Now, when they're inflicted with burn, it says here that 100 times non-type damage at the end of the turn. So it's just free damage, basically. 100 times non-type damage. It is a decent chunk, but it's not going to be anything too crazy against an enemy with like 5 million HP, right? It doesn't really make that much of a difference. But just giving you burn against them is pretty interesting, because that can also get around resilience buffs and stuff like that. I assume this also goes through barriers. So I think there's going to be interesting applications of the burn effect. So we'll have to wait and see how people are going to abuse that. But he burns them and then says doubles damage dealt against burnt enemies for 2 turns. So wow, just a 2 times conditional boost, basically. You inflict it and then you get the conditional boost, and then changes block, bomb, tandem recovery, and G slots and his own slot into strength. So he's guaranteed to get a strength slot when you launch the ability, which means that when you launch his special, he's going to have a strength slot if he's the captain, right? This is pretty good, man. The fact that he himself, with his effect, can get the 2 times conditional boost. Now, if the enemy is inflicted or does have a full immunity buff, you cannot apply this, but it does mean that if they have anything except for a full immunity buff, you're guaranteed to get this off, which is very good. So you get AoE damage, full board of slots, especially with this as well. Like, this is essentially a full board of slots guaranteed. 2.5 orb boost with those full slots as well, and a 2.5 times base chain cap, or starts at 2.5 base chain, and then it goes up to a cap of 35. And that's just with Ace. This is what you get if you set Ace as your captain or as a sub on the team. This is what you get. It's so much. It is so much, and this unit is so strong. Man, he's really good, of course, but you gotta remember, this is all based around building a team that is of shooters and free spirits. But that we do have some pretty good free spirits, as I just mentioned, you know, Odin, Roger, Luffy, Sanji. So yeah, we have a lot of different units that you can use with this guy. Now, moving on, he does have his Pyre Rumble abilities, level 7 attack up to himself for 10 seconds, 2 times his attack in large range, and if his HP is below 60%, inflicts 2 times his attack to all enemies. Okay, that's pretty good. He does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage in Pirate Rumble, and his ability is Strength Allies attack up 5, defense 3, and for the first 40 seconds, own attack level 5. So for the first 40 seconds, he actually has level 10 attack. I don't know what what's his special counter? 25? Dude, that's pretty good. Oh, 25 for that special? Bro. So if you launch that, he's going to have, what, like level 10 plus level 7, 17 attack up just with himself alone. And then he just does a lot of damage, man. This is good. I like this. I like that they're buffing strength up a little bit. Let's move on to Akainu. As we mentioned, he is a quick unit, and he is a driven powerhouse unit. So let's have a look at him. His captain effect will boost the attack of driven and powerhouse characters by 5 times, 1.5 health boost, so that's a bigger health boost than Ace. Increases the rate of quick orbs appearing, and then whenever you take damage from the enemy, inflicts all enemies with burn for 4 turns, ignoring debuff immunity. Burn damage is a 100 times typeless damage to the enemy at the end of the turn. So you can see there is quite a stark difference between these two characters when you use them as the captain. Obviously the classes being the main thing here, but bigger HP boost, increases the rate of quick orbs appearing. Now that's a bit different, because obviously Ace makes strength X quick matching, whereas this guy's just like, you know, just get more quick orbs. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, because in terms of getting matching slots, it's going to be kind of annoying. For Akainu himself, it's not going to matter because he himself is a quick unit, so more matching slots for him. But you want to be getting as many of those strength X quick slots as you possibly can, so you can launch the versus effect, of course. So I think it's going to be easier to launch that effect with Akainu, which, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how people actually use these units, but the final effect here is the fact that whenever, it just says whenever you take damage. So can that literally be just like any amount of damage at all? So even if like a turtle attacks you, you just inflict them with burn. This could be good, but the thing is as well, you gotta remember, is that for stalling purposes, this could be actually really annoying. If an enemy attacks you and you need to stall, that could be annoying because the burn will just kill them. So yeah, that's interesting. Interesting to see how this all plays out. I like it though. I think Akainu's captain effect is very good, very offensively based. And for driven and powerhouse, I mean, if we look at Ace, for example, being a shooter in Free Spirit, one of his classes, Free Spirit, being absolutely amazing, and his other one, shooter, being quite terrible. And the same thing here is with Akainu. Like, powerhouse are a really good class. I wouldn't say they're the top, like the tippity top, but they are very good. And then you've got driven, who are kind of mediocre. They don't have like many good utility units compared to like powerhouse or Free Spirit, for example. So yeah, I like that they're giving, you know, a decent class a decent buff, and then they're giving a really weak class a good buff as well. So that's cool. So captain effect of Akainu, it's good. It's good. You're just applying the burn that can go through debuff immunity. It's pretty freaking cool, man. Alright, his special ability, also 13 turn cooldown, deals 400 times his own attack in typeless damage to a single enemy, changes all slots including block into quick slots, and then for 2 turns, boosts the orbs of driven and powerhouse characters by 2.5 times, so he himself is also giving those characters the orb boost. And then for 2 turns, lock the chain multiplier depending on the number of quick slots that you've consumed throughout the run. So you get a 3 times chain lock between 0 and 7, 8 to 14 gives you a 3.25 chain lock, and more than 15 gives you a 3.5 times chain lock. Okay, this is actually really, really good, because especially if you're running a full quick team, you're guaranteed full board of quick slots, you get the orb boost for your whole team, and you get a chain lock. Yeah, that's a powerful special. And you got to look at his captain effect as well. You know, being a 5 times boost, you're able to inflict burn if you take damage. So, again, that's going to be interesting to see how this all works, but still really, really good, right? Now, you can see here, his versus ability, the exact same. Strength X quick, you need 12 of those slots, which with his captain effect increasing the rate of quick orbs, that's not going to be difficult. And then his versus ability applies 4 turns of burn to the enemy. So even if you didn't get the burn to activate, even if they didn't attack you to inflict the burn, you still inflict burn to them with his versus ability. Multiplies damage dealt to enemies inflicted with the burn by 1.75. So obviously Ace's conditional is better, but with Akainu, it's a little bit different. His one is a little weaker, but he has the added effect of making quick slots beneficial to all driven and powerhouse characters for 4 turns. This has multiple different uses, by the way, because not only you can use it, you know, on the turn that you're bursting with his special to give you all those quick slots with his special, you make them all beneficial to your whole team for 4 turns, but the fact that it gives you quick slots beneficial for 4 turns means you can use it in a utility-based sense, where if the enemy gives you an effect that says, you know, make all your type slots non-matching for a certain amount of time, you can use his versus ability to negate that, which I really like. And it lasts for 4 turns, which is very strange. You know, a lot of buffs these days don't last that long. You know, 3 turns is typically the max that we normally see. So the fact that we're seeing a buff that actually lasts for 4 turns is quite impressive, honestly. I really do like that. And, you know, the 4 turns of burn just applied to them as well is quite good. And even his captain effect does the same thing as well for 4 turns. I don't know what the significance of 4 is, but I like it anyway. It's better than, you know, like 2 turns or 1 turn, you know. Lots of different utilities applied here. both these units are great. I don't know which one I like better. I actually don't know which one I like better, because I do like a lot of aspects of Ace's special, but at the same time, I really think that Akainu being able to just apply burn whenever he takes damage, that seems really good. And it goes through immunity buffs as well, which means that whenever you launch his Versus ability, you're guaranteed to get this conditional boost. So I do like that, the fact that he's guaranteed to get a conditional boost, whereas Ace, if the enemy has a full like immunity buff, you can't apply burn to them, which is a little bit of a problem. So, you know, it's give and take with both of them. I don't know which one I like better. I think both of them are amazing, but remember, if you do pull this unit, you get both of these characters in one. This is why Versus units are so valuable, because this character is a shooter free spirit captain with a shooter free spirit support special, or it's a driven powerhouse captain with a driven or powerhouse support special. Like, this is why this unit is so good. And remember, Versus abilities can be applied when they're a sub unit as well. So this is why Versus units are considered to be like some of the best units in the game. I mean, like Kaido Big Mom and this unit as well, in the top 3 for sure right now. They are just so absurdly strong. Let's have a look at the Pyro Rumble stuff for Akainu. He does 2 times attack in large range, strength enemies get an additional 1.5 times damage dealt, and then reduces HP of enemies in a large range by 30% if the special is activated in the first 40 seconds. Woo! That's pretty good. I like it. Very offensive. It is level 5 attack up, level 3 defense up, level 5 speed for quick allies, wow, and then gives level 5 attack to himself and level 5 special cooldown reduction for himself for 20 seconds at the start of the battle. Whoo! That's good. That's really good, because obviously you want to launch his special in the first 40 seconds, which you should be able to do anyway with this, but he also just reduces his own cooldown as well. I like it. This kind of is really good. Damn, okay, and then his passive is immune to bind. Okay, that's good. And then reduces strength damage by 30%. I mean, I didn't want to spend too much time on Ace versus Akainu, but there's lots to talk about here, man. I love this unit. Man, it's going to be hard for global players. Imagine wanting to wait for like Luffy Sanji and then you see a character like this show up. This character is so strong. Alright, let's have a look at the other characters real quick just before we finish up the video and see what they're all about. New Red Recruit Jozu, by the way. Red Recruit Jozu, special, stage 2, reduces cooldowns of Powerhouse and Fighters by 2 turns, and reduce Despair and Attack Down by 5 turns, and reduce damage received by 90% for 1 turn. That's a good special. That's a really good special. And an added support as supporting Whitebeard or Ace. Once per adventure, when you're inflicted with attack down, reduce it by 2 turns. Amazing. Like this is a top tier rare recruit right here. Really, really good. We haven't seen his Pyro Rumble stuff because sometimes regular rare recruits have really good Pyro Rumble stuff. So we haven't seen it what he does yet. But honestly, really impressive special and support. Sengoku artwork looking pretty good. So he will go ahead and reduce bind by 5, reduces resilience and rainbow shield by 5, and adds 80 times his attacker's tap timing bonus damage for 2 turns. Tap timing bonus damage is not a very common effect these days, and it's kind of an effect that is honestly, it's kind of phased out nowadays. Like, it's just not something that you'll normally see. If you're gonna see it, like, it'll be like something like Halloween Mihawk, where it's just like a huge amount of tap timing, but just for 1 unit, for example, or something like Hawkins or V2 Katakuri, something that's like a huge amount. You don't really see these random, like, obscure value tap timing bonuses anymore, so it is weird that they've done it this time. Very, very weird. Okay, and his support attaches to any of the old school admirals and Garp. Once per adventure, when you use a damage dealing or health cut special, reduces resilience and rainbow shield by 2. Dude, that is amazing. I mean, like Legend Garp, he's got a health cut special. He can reduce rainbow shield now. Like resilience, I mean, that doesn't matter too much, but damn, that's a good support. I love it when these rare recruits have really good supports, man. That's awesome. Aokiji, that's cool. I love the artwork there. Special, 300,000 fixed damage to 1 enemy that ignores damage negating abilities and barriers. Reduces increased defense and threshold by 5, and if your captain is shooter or free spirit, boost the attack of shooter and free spirit by 2 times for 1 turn. Wow, okay, so this is some really good ace support. I like it. I like it. Very, very good. And then attaches to Akainu Kizaru. Uses a damage dealing or health cut special, reduces increased defense and threshold by 2. Dude, these units are so good. Holy, this, like, the legend and all the rare recruits so far are very, very impressive units, man. This is insane. Okay, so we've got a new Luffy, who I think is also a rare recruit. Yeah, he is. Alright, his special chain is the top row and bottom row to matching. Locks your orbs for 1 turn, and then reduce paralysis and special bind by 5, very good, and adds 0.8 to the chain. Obviously that works really well with Ace, because Ace is that base chain unit, so you know, you want to try and add chain boosters on top of that. So if you have like Ace's set chain multiplier, and then like Luffy's chain boost on top of that, it's insane. You do so many good things with that, and I like that he chained his top row orbs to matching as well, so obviously Ace gets his effect. It would have been nice if it was just like just change adjacent slots to matching, I suppose. I mean, top and bottom doesn't... top and bottom's fine. Okay, it's fine. Lock orbs is pretty good too. I like that. Support to ace. Once per adventure, when you're inflicted with special bind, reduce the special bind on the support character by 2 and adds points. Whoa, holy crap. Okay, this is pretty good. Man, okay, dude, these units, man. These units are something else. I like this. I like these units a lot. And we got Whitebeard here. So this is a special event Dex Whitebeard. I love the artwork there. Deals 15% cut to all enemies that ignores all defensive effects. That's okay. Removes 3 turns of despair, chain lock, and chain coefficient reduction. Okay. And oh, actually, that works really well on like all of the units. So he's probably going to be powerhouse, free spirit maybe. Powerhouse. He wouldn't be shooter. He's probably going to be powerhouse, free spirit. So he works with both of them, I would assume. And then boost the color affinity of free spirit. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't even read the rest of his special. Boost the color affinity of free spirit and powerhouse characters by 1.75. Yeah, the fact that I saw chain lock and chain coefficient reduction, it makes a lot of sense because you use him to like remove any chain debuffs so that you can use Akainu or Ace to apply your own chain debuffs on top of that. And he's a color affinity booster as well. This guy's a Dex unit too, so I like that, you know, it just breeds, you know, different, you know, creativity in terms of color for your team. So that's cool. I like this a lot, dude. All of these units are amazing rare recruits, amazing summonable characters. Ace versus Akainu is definitely like top 3 best units in the game. You could argue him being number 1. I'm not going to argue which one's the best one here, I mean, until it comes out on global. Look, either one of these could be considered the best 3 in the game. This character, Roger, or Akainu versus Big Mom, I think those are easily the best 3 in the game. This guy's amazing. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. The question of the day, though, which one do you like more? Do you like Ace's effects more, or do you like Akainu's effects more? Definitely let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.